So here's the thing I just don't get. If Professor Brian Cox can make even physics interesting for people casually watching on their TV with nothing better to do, who've hitherto had no interest in the subject whatsoever, how on earth can finance, a subject we all know something about and deal with on some level every day, and could all directly benefit from doing better, be thought so dull? It might be because Brian Cox uses his unique insight and experience to make an ostensibly difficult subject accessible to all. By contrast, finance is invariably just dredged up straight from some old textbook. So what could be the reasons for this? Well, regurgitating stuff from a textbook might be seen as a safe bet. It's not easy to challenge financial principles you can trace back decades. And anyone can deliver this sort of training. You don't need someone experienced who has bothered to test out what works in practice. And of course it's quick and cheap to create a finance course on this basis. Easy, therefore, to bolt on to a diverse range of other course offerings like health and safety, time management, dealing with difficult people, etc., etc. You know the sort of thing. And therein lies the problem. Where is the incentive to approach finance in a different way? Look, before I qualified as an accountant more than 20 years ago, I'd been tortured by this tired textbook stuff right throughout all my studies. Yet these days I find it hard to think of anything that I took from back then that I still use today. And I'm certainly not out of touch. I regularly train other accountants. And in truth, possibly the only reason they even tolerate listening to me is that they've had the exact same experience that I have. So with this in mind, I ask myself, with the benefit of hindsight, if I was to learn finance from scratch again, what would that very first course look like? And the answer that came to me was surprisingly simple. An overview, but with a difference. An overview that embraced not only key financial terms and principles, but useful tips, tricks and common traps that people without a financial background would be unaware of. I'd want that course embellished with plenty of visuals, quizzes and anecdotes. Plus, and perhaps most importantly, I'd want it delivered with a bit of oomph by someone with real experience. So this is exactly what we've endeavoured to do in this introductory one-day course. First, an admission of sorts. Look, finance, the principles and terminology is not in itself hugely interesting, but get past that to the practical application of it and the commercial implications and it quickly becomes fascinating. And sure, we'll introduce you to the key reports, profit and loss, balance sheet and cash flow, and in so doing we'll address some crunchy questions. Why is profit like porridge? What is the one thing any organisation must focus on? Why is it that assets are not always good and liabilities not always bad? And how many accountants does it take to change a light bulb? Well, okay, perhaps we'll pass on the last one. But if you want a practical introduction to basic finance, take a look at our one-day course detailed below. You can download the full course outline as a PDF, and if you're interested, please be sure to get in touch with any questions if we can help you further.